I just want to remind or can I remove the mic? The mask? Okay. I just want to remind myself and remind my fellow National Assembly members. One of the reasons why the entire Gambia decided to go in for a new constitution. First of all, if I stand here today and hold this constitution, I don't think I'm holding the right constitution, because this has been doctored more than 50 times. So this is not the right constitution. Secondly, Willie West has said it here, that in this constitution, the Gambia was not defined. So there are a lot of salient issues that are not in this. And at the time of when the act was coming to this parliament, I don't think there was anyone here who would have gone against this constitution. Madam Speaker, we are informed, according to the report, that the process they took, that we asked them to do, because the act was approved by us here. So in other words, we asked the CRC to prepare this document. And how did they do it? They informed us that they went according to the act, which was prepared by the executive and sent to us for approval. They informed us that they had 263 focus group discussions all throughout the Gambia, which involves more than almost 8,000 people individually. And a lot of processes that are all mentioned here. Madam Speaker, they also informed us the first 3 months of when they started work, they reviewed the 1965, 1970, and 1979 constitutions. Unfortunately, I would agree with some of my honorable colleagues that I think the Kenyan one should have been included here, so that when you quote from it, it can be valid. But it is not. That's unfortunate. Again, we are being informed that they have consulted, position papers were given to them by 31 NGOs. 23 departments, ministries, and agencies. 8 religious organizations. I don't even know that we had 8 religious organizations in this country. No.
Okay, you want to observe?
Yes, I want to make just clarification. I don't know whether you remember. Honorable Speaker, if you look at page 217 of the report, it mentions references. Page 217. And if you go to page 219, item 30 and 31, 32, 33, 34, you will see Ghana Citizenship Act.
With you, can you just refer me to the relevant?
Yeah,
I
page
miss your pages.
is the report,
Okay. Just
report of the Constitutional Review Commission.
Okay. The
On the
one
draft.
that I have is the, I'm using the gazetted copy, that's why.
Okay, no, not the copy itself, but the report. Yes, the report, page 217, has references. And if you go to page 219, it mentions many constitutions. 30, Ghana Citizenship Act, and 31 is Ghana Constitution. 32, Malawi Citizenship Act. 33, Malawi Constitution. 34, Kenya Constitution. Well, in academia, what you really do is make references. Anytime you have literature review, you will make references so that nobody can allege that you have plagiarized.
Thank you. Thank you for the rectification. I have not reached to that portion. Maybe that's why I didn't see it. And we are informed that 10 international governmental organizations put in their position papers. 98 individuals, which any one of us could have done. In fact, I want to say this, Madam Speaker, that National Assembly members had the opportunity to have met with CRC on numerous occasions. I stand to be corrected, but I think they had meetings in every district of this country. And some of us here had more than one district in their constituencies. So the opportunity to have met them was numerous, but we did not. The National Assembly was consulted through the right committee, and I think, if I'm right, they sent in the position paper. Four educational institutions sent in their position papers. 98 individuals. Again, we could have been among, any one of us could have written a position paper, and I'm sure some probably might have done that. And finally, 3 political parties. All this listing was done by Gambians, which really tells us that this constitution was very consultative and participatory. This does not the least mean that I don't also have my objections. Madam Speaker, if I want to enumerate what I also have comments on this, my number one thing would be the citizenship. I agree that Gambians should open up and allow other people to be registered as Gambians. But we are saying, we are not refuting it, but let it be in the right manner. Let it be in the right manner. Go and do the neutralization or whatever in the right manner. That's all. That's all we are asking for. So I think that portion of citizenship should have more elaborated. That's my feeling. And I think at one time, here we all, it was either at committee level or at the plenary, that we said the president at least should be coming here twice every year. Beginning of the year, to highlight what his government has planned. At the end of the year, to come and tell us what they have achieved, what they have not achieved, why they have not achieved. Humble opinion that where you have term limit for president, for National Assembly, for councillors, the chieftaincy is left wide open. If you elect a 20-year-old as chief, and supposedly he is to live for 100 years, he will be chief for 80 years. And we have seen numerous times where chiefs are not functioning. They are sick in their room, and their kids are running the affairs of the district. We have seen that. So it's my other belief that the chieftaincy and the alcalde should also, for democratic purpose, have term limits. And we were all happy that certain appointments should be coming here for vetting. Yes, under normal circumstances, this is what is happening in a lot of countries. But it is my feeling that if the president selects somebody, nominates somebody for the National Assembly to approve, I think the National Assembly should also be consulted when he is being dismissed. Not to take permission from them, but at least give them the reasons why you are dismissing that person. But that is not there. It's also not in the Constitution. And finally, the commission reports. Commissions are, the acts are being approved by this National Assembly. And what normally happens, we have seen just recently when commissions have been summoned and we approve them and we don't even know what the report contains. I think there's a flaw there also. But all this I'm saying are my personal opinions. Is this the opinion outside? Is this the opinion even inside here? I don't think so. Or it may not be. So based on that, I don't think it will be fair for me to stand here to say I'm going against the Constitution because I have my personal objections on certain parts of the Constitution. So I am again advising myself and my fellow NAMs. A lot is at stake. 164 million had been spent to produce this. 164 million. I would have been very happy if they had given that to agriculture so that we buy equipment for the farmers. But no, it had been spent to produce this. $115. No?
16.
Okay, let it be 100 million. Let it be 100 million, not 116. Let it be 100 million. I think 100 million plus the time and the energy spent on this. I was thinking, probably if anybody is to object to this, it should be the people themselves. The people who were consulted, the people whose ideas are in this, should be the people who would say, yes, we disagree, because this is not what we had agreed when you came here. So we are rejecting it. That's my humble opinion. Today, after these debates, the onus is left onto us. If this passes, is the Gambian people that will win. If it fails by us, I think we will not be in the good books of the people. Because, Madam Speaker, these days, a lot has been said. A lot is going on since yesterday, up to today, on this constitution. So there is a definite need for us to rethink. This constitution, if it comes to, even after the referendum, any portion of it that you don't like, you can bring it back to the National Assembly to change it. It's not the Bible, it's not the Quran that you can say you cannot touch it. So this is why I am appealing to my fellow nouns. Let's reconsider our positions. Yes, there are one or two things that we may have objections on in this constitution. But we must always remember that it is your personal opinion about it. And your personal opinion, if it does not coincide with what was told to the CRC when they went to the people, I don't think the CRC would do a good job by putting your personal opinion here and leaving out the opinion of the people. So once again, Madam Speaker, I appeal for us to reconsider our positions and pass this constitution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Before I'll go further, we have heard or you read and we hear so many opinions from CRC. So now what we should do now is to establish facts. That's what we should do. Madam Speaker, when I read this constitution, I did draft. I was highly convinced that this is one of the best constitutions forever. And Madam Speaker, I was very disappointed to hear that most of the NAMs were saying that this is a carbon copy. Madam Speaker, let them I'll ask them. And also, I'll inform the National Assembly that there was only one original, which God had created, that's Adam. The rest were carbon copies. And I was even happy when I heard from you that you hardly understand my language. I was happy. But this is how my father speaks. So I was very much happy to hear from you. But now, even if I point out that among MPs saying that well, you are not a carbon copy of your father, how does that person feel it? Uncomfortable. The CRC, they did a wonderful job. Because if you could allow me, if I refer you their report, page 32 of the report, if you could allow me to read. 97. The CRC, they have contacted about 874 people, took part face to face. And out of that, 818 individuals were participated face-to-face interview. Out of that, 56 individuals volunteer to go and see CRC express their view. So that being the case, Madam Speaker, to be quite honest, this constitution is not for witch hunting for anybody. Because the people who vote you in were asked by the CRC and they told them their view. And this is where they want them to govern them. The people who vote for you. They want them to govern you the way, in the manner CRC has called from them. So there's no reason why people are saying that this is a common people from Kenya. It's under shame. You can't be perfect. Unless, Madam Speaker, you collect ideas from people. From there, you'll be able to govern people. Otherwise, you're going to be a good leader. Madam Speaker, and I have no doubt on this constitution, only few remarks that I will point it out during the committee stage, that the rights that of women, and qualification, and nationality, and time limit. And Madam Speaker, I think it is not even necessary for us to debate on time limit. Let's try to recall the past. We are once against the First Republic and the Second Republic. Because of what? Overstay. So at least to punish yourself, Madam Speaker, and to be godly, and to punish yourself, and to be sincere, Madam Speaker. If you are here for the interest of the nation, not for your own interest, at least you should accept inclusive, Madam Speaker. May I remind my fellow citizens during that 3 years demonstration, they were not succeeded simply because the Constitution says that the president should stay for the 5 years, not 3 years. That's why we are unable to stay at this time. Let me remind these people again. Why is this man, the ex-president of Nigeria, Jonathan, only served for only 4 years, and he's the highest ex-president in Nigeria, over Nelson Mandela. After serving for about 26 years in jail, but he was there to fight for freedom. But why should he? Why? My question is, why are they even greedy? Holding for over 15 years. Why? And on my final note, Madam Speaker, I aspire to Holy Quran as a pure Muslim. If this constitution is failed, the United Constituency and myself, I'll point my finger to the President. Honestly speaking, if this constitution happens to fail, and they will enjoy it as everybody, it's this year. Because according to speak, what I heard, we talk about the election, but there was no emphasis on this constitution. And then that might stand. It's one of the best constitutions so far. My point is that it's women's rights. I will talk about it later. But before I take my seat, Madam Speaker, if the National Assembly members refuse to endorse this constitution, the future will tell. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Funi Jarol.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. If I'm to start first with the issue on the table discussed, I would say that this is a conspiration against the 1997 Constitution, and which, may I assure you, that it will not work. Okay. Honorable Speaker, going through the document, with consultation with my people, who through them I am here as a National Assembly member. We went through the document, and what we came out with is that there are many irregularities, many loopholes that needs to be looked into for whatsoever. You know, we cannot be fooled twice as a country. I mean, we have to be very careful. It is this 1997 Constitution that has made you and I and the President to be what we are today. Because we were all sworn through it. And up till date, it is that document that the government is still functioning on. So, while you repeat, we can make amendments, go through into some of the necessary or unnecessary things that we think are not fit to be there. We may change. Saying we have spent 116 million, I mean, that's nothing to me, because it's all about life. This is all about governance. This is why sometimes when you are taking up things, you have to be very careful and study it thoroughly. Don't just say because I am in power or I am over you, so I have to do whatsoever. Most of us here, we are opposing the coalition government. And you are the very people who came up with that coalition selection to get this man there, president. And now we are saying no, because of certain, weaknesses that are prevailing. So should we also allow, going through this document, the same thing to happen? I have my reasons, as I said. Now, by the way, if I may refer and if you may allow me, chapter 8 of the draft bill on section 84, page 37, on political parties. Now, if you go to subsection 2, G and H, to my people, ensure that, like G says, ensure that at least 10% of candidates for election to the National Assembly are youth. But how are we going to be sure of this? Maybe in an area where maybe you don't have that youth participation in politics, at least to give you that number in percentage as a political party, then what are you going to do? And G, H says, KRAL says, publish to the public annually their audited accounts within 6 months of the end of the financial year, failing which the independent boundaries and electoral commission may deregister the party. When that public did not sponsor your party, or the public is not the group that is sponsoring your party, only the militants. Why can't that be in the Congress, where you tell your people how you spend the party's money, rather than the public? It's not like a government where everybody's monies are put into, but for parties, not everybody's monies are put into. It is only those people who are in the party who contribute to the welfare of the party. So it is important to let that people know, but the entire nation, meaning you are revealing your secrets. And every life needs secrecy. So to us, this will be very important if it is taken to the Congress. Now you move to, again, on Section 85. Section 85, here on subsection 2. Madam Speaker, the executive authority vested in the President includes upholding the values and principles of this Constitution and all other laws validly, and you underline that, enacted by the National Assembly. So do the CRC want to tell us that whatever we enact here are not validly enacted? So the word validly, to me, should not be there. So if you are to maintain that validity, meaning then the National Assembly has not, enacting, issues that are valid. So to us, we forget about validity or validly, and then say, and all other laws enacted by the National Assembly. Simple. Honorable Speaker, to be honest with you, I know many people are talking. You go to the media, go to ghettos, anywhere, people are talking about this issue. And you have to be honest. We are all represented by people, or we are representing people, and it is these people who put us here. So people have different opinions. So let no one seize us to say, because I'm saying no to it, so I'm a bad Gambian. If you think that is right on your side, that's your opinion. But my people who brought me here are saying that let me not see that this document should be something that I should agree to. And we have our reasons. There are many reasons here, if time will allow me to come up. Okay? So may I refer you again to Section 89, subsection 2, which reads, the address by the President shall relate to matters concerning the state of the nation and may include previous, current, and future policies of the country. May. So it is not mandatory. He can say what has happened past or not. And we would want to know what the President has been doing in the past. Because that present situation, you are telling the people what you have done, what your achievements are or were. But now if you say may, that is not mandatory. He may, or he or she may, or may not. So, but if you should say shall include previous, which is very true, shall include previous. The President should tell us what achievements, his or her government had achieved. And then again, 97. If we can go to 97, Honorable Speaker.
Can you avoid the details for the time being?
Pardon?
You can deal with the specific sections, but just the general principles of it. Let's try to avoid the details for the time being.
Yeah, but the way I think, because I'm getting from the bill. So I think I'm on the right track. So, I said page 97, or before 97, can we see 94 on page 42? Disqualification for election as president. Let's see C and D. Our concern here is the gross misconduct. Gross misconduct. And D, terminated. Now, to us, when your service is terminated, it's different from when you are dismissed. Because termination goes with benefits. So somebody whose service is terminated, if you want to say that person will not be qualified to stand as a president, you cannot understand that. So maybe unless you buttress and explain it to us to understand. We are saying to maybe make the sentence or the phrase or clause correct is subject to subsection 2A has during any period of service in a public office or a private sector in the Gambia being dismissed or dishonesty or immoral conduct, something like that. But when to say I am terminated, what if I am terminated but I am not, it's not because of my misconduct or my immorality caused my dismissal. So am I not qualified to stand as a president candidate? So I want you to help me to let my people understand the person. And on section 97, page 44, procedure of election of president. This place is very, we have to study this place very thoroughly. Like it says, if I may read, 97, 1, 2, 3, 4, especially 4, where it stated that at the first election, more than 2 candidates received equally the highest number or second highest number of valid votes. The candidates who received the highest number and second highest number of valid votes shall participate in the second election unless any of them withdraws his or her participation. Like, for example, this is a mathematical work. Like, you have 5 presidents, 5 candidates. That's 2 for the election. And maybe A got 36, B 28, C 28, 5E, sorry, D 5, and E 3. Sum that up, you have 100. You go to the second round. Now it is A, B, and C, because they kept bracket, went for the second round. And there you have 33, A got 33, B got 35, and C got 32. So here, by the Constitution, you should have 50 plus. By looking at the March calculation, the second person who got 35 in the second round did not got 50 plus 1. So I want you to explain to us, how is this man qualified to be the president when at the first round, the first got 36. There he is not considered. He went to the second round, and then you have somebody who got 35, and then man is chosen as president. So I want you to explain it to us to understand. Okay? And then
I don't like interrupting honorable members when they make their interventions, but as I said earlier on, can we just deal with the the merits and the principles? It appears as if you are going into the details to the extent of even doing some mathematical calculations. I stand to be corrected, or Sandu is not here. You can broaden your arguments to cover a large scope, and then it will be understood. Because the sections are there, we can all read. And
anyway, to my...
Just a second, let me learn. Honorable Serekunda, please. Let me just, yeah. Are you with me? Are we together?
Yes, I'm with you.
All right, if you can, please.
Okay.
Can you Honorable Serekunda is drawing your attention. I think he wants, I don't know what.
Clarification? Well, I hope the honorable member is guiding us properly in terms of the interpretation of what he is saying. What this seems to be saying is that if you have the person 35 and the second position you have two people having 33, then you have a problem there. All three are there. One is first, the other two are second. So if the other two, one drops, you can still continue. Otherwise, all of them will have to participate. So I don't know, what are you guiding us? What is?
No, what I'm trying
What I
to say
said
here
is about the details for the time being.
Now, what I just want here for the minister to explain, for me to understand, is this is the calculation that I came out. Because I said first round, you have two brackets, with one leading the scores. Now going for the second round, there now you don't have brackets, but you have 33, 35, 32. And that's why, according to this constitution, the elections stops there, because there's nobody that has given up for the honor. Now, in this event, how are you going to go up again? Where there is nobody amongst these people who has plus 51. This is what I want to understand. And that's why the election stops. Are you following me? Yes. Yes. No, the minister. I'm not talking to... Okay. Honorable Speaker, as I said earlier, the 1997 Constitution should have been looked into for amendments, and I am even more disappointed when one of my fellow members here stood to say there were many allegations against that 1997 Constitution. It was a soldier constitution, it was an APRC constitution, you name it. But where are the people? For 22 years, a document. And the National Assembly has been existing up till today. There is no challenging, except when this time came up to say, let's review. Some said it here, no need to review it, no need to get another new one. Can't we go through and see how best we can make some changes or bring in those that were deleted and see, so that we'll have at least not that much cost, as we are saying, because I think it's going to be lesser cost than what we now expecting. And let me tell you, it is not also bad that you send your child to the shop to buy you something that you want. That child went to the shop and did not come with what you want. What do? You ask the child to go back and get what you want. So if the same comes, this constitution has come. We have asked these people to give us what the Gambian people want, and in turn, it did not happen in the way we wanted. Obviously, we have to ask them to go back and bring in something that we are looking for. So it is not bad. It is only when maybe you don't care about whether the child has done right or wrong. You don't care about it, so you will not worry. But for us, we've sent CRC to bring us or to give us as expected, and it is not done in that right way. So what do you want us to say? Go and redo it properly. We continue on our 1997 Constitution. We amend it, see how best we can put things together, because it is for the whole Gambia. I mean, for 22 years, It's not 22 days. And we have seen what they have been doing. So if that constitution, it is the people, in fact, what I sometimes say is it's the people who face the constitution, not the constitution that face the people. Because we are the people who do the works or the instructions of the constitution. So if we fail to do so, then it means we are failing our own selves. So this is what happened. And let people not fear. Because others would say, yes, if you retain the 1997 Constitution, Babil Mansa will come, and when that happens, many people will run away. Who is Babil Mansa? Who will make people to run away? Is he not a human being like you and I? So, let's see what benefits the Gambia and what can
Madam Speaker,
move forward.
the member is deviating.
Making an observation, you have to be clear what you want.
Yes, observation.
Observation, Honorable Member for Fonyi Jaro M. Yes,
No,
Jaro.
and in fact, he has even followed the rules.
You are not allowing.
No, I don't allow him. So, in short, madam, and if you go to the judiciary, and before there, the National Assembly Service Commission, if you look at it thoroughly, why inviting other people to come and interfere in our own, administration? Like, creating 3 people, something like that, if I can quote it rightly. Getting some 2 females to be part of the commission. And if you look at the judiciary, the Judicial Commission, they are comprises of mainly of they are all judicially minded people.
Are those not details? Consider, the details,
No, madam,
the number of,
I'm not
you have to
understanding.
be able to distinguish between generality and details.
But this is what I'm trying to put to you. But then I'm only just, if you don't want me to give my consent, well, I mean, I don't know then what kind of a democratic system is this. Anyway, on a serious note, the parliament, we have to be very serious because otherwise, the legacy that we want to come up will make us one of the worst parliament so far. Since from the creation of parliament in the Gambia. So we have to be very careful and be very honest to our people. This is the opinion of my people that this 2020 constitution is a conspiration, is conspiracy constitution against the 1997 constitution. So it will not work. And you underline that it will not work. So I thank you.
Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.